Welcome back, friends. If you want to join the friends, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Today we're bringing it back with another money making video. This is kind of correlated to the muddy chest video that I just released. Link in the description down below if you haven't seen that yet. But right now we are going to be opening Sinister chests. Now this is going to be a little bit safer. First off, there's a guaranteed loot from these. They drop 9 herbs per key. So it's a variety of herbs, but we already know what we're going to be getting, and the main thing that we're going to be doing here is figuring out exactly how long it takes to open up as many chests as you need to open. So first things first, I only bought 50 keys for this instead of the 300 for muddy chests, because like I said, there is no variability with this. You are going to be straight up making this money. Doesn't matter RNG or anything. As long as you can make it to the chest, open it up, then you can make this money. So, like last time, I am going to be using a pack-yak. This is just going to be actually used for banking the herbs because they drop 9 herbs per key. Now, if you do the math really quick, there is 30 slots in a pack-yak, along with 28 in your inventory, depending on which familiar you decide to use. Somehow I have a Sinister key in my bank. I'll make sure to have one when I finish up. But depending on which familiar you choose, you may have a different number of slots. But for this method, we're actually going to only be needing 7 herbs per key, because we're going to be dropping 2 of them because they're very low priced. So with 58 divided by 7, closest thing is going to be 7 times 8, 56. So let's go ahead and grab 7 of these keys as well as 2 law runes. That's going to be what we're going to need for every single trip. Go ahead and save that as our preset. And what you do is you teleport to the Watchtower teleport. Now, Watchtower teleport is supposed to teleport you to the Watchtower, but because I have Ardoin tasks already done, then I get teleported directly to Yanil, which right now is not super useful, but when we come and do our second banking trip, it is going to be pretty useful. It is a little bit further away from the entrance over here than the Watchtower is, but then you don't have to go for a banking trip because you run right next to a bank getting to it. So I think it's worthwhile to have that ability, or that option on, to teleport into the middle of Yanil. But if you don't have that, you can just teleport with a Tokal Zo or any other infinite teleport that will bring you close to a bank. So we're going to be going into the Yanil dungeon here. It's actually a very close way. There's not too far that you have to go. You just walk over this. Obviously this does take an agility amount. I don't think that there's actually a requirement for it, but obviously the higher amount that you have, the less chance you have of failing. So you run over here, and the chest is literally right here. It is so close to the entrance. So what you do is you open up the chest. It does take a couple seconds for it to respawn, so go ahead and drop the Harlanders. They're not really worth anything, and they are going to poison you for a little bit of amount, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to open up 3, and we're going to deposit all of these herbs into our pack-yak, because that's the reason why we have it, so we can deposit the herbs into them. I believe I actually only need to open up 1 more chest for the pack-yak to get completely filled up, but might as well open up 2 so that I can fill it a little bit faster. I believe it's Ranars that actually drop 4 per key, so that would be your best bet to deposit. And finished all up. You check the ground, make sure you only have Grimy Harlander on there, make sure your inventory is full, and teleport back to the Watchtower. That's going to be every single trip. So I'm going to go ahead and time it out, see how long it takes. And obviously we're already going to know how many of each herb we get, so we will show you back with a price check once I finish this all up. Hey, so welcome back. So I just realized that I wasn't actually getting as many Ranars as I thought I was. I was only getting 3 per chest, and then 1 of each Erit, Avanto, and Quarm. And the Harlanders aren't really worth much, so it's not worth even grabbing them. But what that means is instead of having 7 herbs per chest, there were only 6. And if you do the math out, 6 divided out of 58 means I could have brought 9 keys per chest. And I was doing the runs about 2.5 minutes, so that's about 25 chest runs per hour. So 9 times 25, you're going to be opening up quite a bit of chests. That's going to be 225 chests per hour. I'm going to go ahead and say about 200 because with those extra keys, you would have had a little bit slower rate of going and opening up all the chests, so it would have taken a little bit longer per banking trip. But being able to open up 9 chests per every single time I went in would have been huge. As you can see here, I actually do have quite a bit of Harlander. That could have been all these other herbs instead of Harlanders. And if you check the GE price for Harlanders, there was 77 GP. It's useless. So let's say about 200 keys that you can open per hour. And on the history here, I have 13,579 GP per Sinister key that I bought for a grand total of 679,000. So let's go ahead and do a price check really quick. Okay, so I have 1 million. I made about 400,000 in these 49 keys. I am gonna go ahead and sell all this loot to see how much I actually made, not just what the GE mid price is. Just finished up selling all of these herbs, and I ended up with a nice loot pouch of 1,039,000. I did not include the Harlander in here because if you're doing this the proper way, which I kind of messed up a little bit, you will be getting very little, if any, Harlander. So this is going to be basically negated. They're not really worth that much anyway. But I did spend 678,000 on the keys, so it left me with about 350k. When you divide it out to how much you're actually making per key, it's going to be 7,201 GP for every single key you do. If you're doing it properly with a pack yak, you can get 200 keys per hour, making a grand total of just over 1.4 mil per hour. So all in all, it's a little bit lower than Muddy Chests. Muddy Chests was a little bit faster, but it also does include risking quite a bit on the wilderness, because you're going to be running in the wilderness a lot of the time with very large sums of money with you. So I would actually personally do this over top of the Muddy Chests. One thing to note is this does require 49 agility. I didn't actually know that when I first started out. I checked again, and a couple of those agility things did have a level requirement. And if you have 49 agility, which you can train up in an hour or two anyhow, then you shouldn't be failing almost ever, and you should have the level requirement to do this. And it's good for a couple other money-making methods anyway to get your agility up, just because you're running around a lot with these money-making methods. So it's not time waster or anything like that. But 1.4 mil per hour for very low requirement, not bad at all. I'm not going to complain at all about that. Not the best in the world, but pretty safe and also pretty good money. Can be done with a probably level 3 account if you can avoid the things killing you. All in all, not bad. If you enjoy videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, leave a like and a comment. Have a good one.